Hi there, I'm Major Latency. Today I'm showing you the ROS Carrier Group system for Arma3, a fully automated task force that will transform your missions. The Carrier Group consists of the USS Freedom Carrier and her 3 Liberty-class destroyer escorts. This isn't just scenery. We've got working air traffic control that handles launch, recovery, and deck rotation for both AI and player aircraft. AI fighters run continuous cap missions, while you, the player, can scramble any frontline aircraft on demand. Every ship has a full crew, with realistic human voices and custom sound effects that make this carrier group feel alive. The deck is dangerous and never stops. Constant launches, recoveries, rotations, and defending against enemy attacks. Inside the island, you've got 6 control stations. Use the radar to find threats, the tasking system to dispatch strike groups, the recruitment terminal to build teams for helicopter insertion missions. Use the defense management systems to repair and rearm the weapons, and the fast fleet travel feature to manage each ship's systems. Or grab a helicopter from the deck. You can also adjust weather, time of day, and mission parameters in real time. One of your tasks is managing these systems and keeping the carrier group alive. Expect constant pressure from enemy aircraft, suicide boats, and attack craft. New to the systems? You can hit the briefing room, sit down, and watch some tutorial videos. Now sit back and watch the carrier group systems in action. First off, let's look at the CAWS weather and settings system. CAWS allows you to monitor or change the following weather and in-game settings. Weather. The CAWS system constantly monitors the weather and alerts you to imminent and forecast changes, with advisory feedback where appropriate. You can also change the overcast and fog values, either instantly or gradually over 30 minutes. Note, overcast values influence most other weather settings like fog, wind, and rain. Time. Change the time of day instantly and sync the new time of day across the network. Time multiplier. Change the time acceleration, i.e. 24 divided by the time multiplier is equal to the real-time length of day and night. A time multiplier of 8, for example, would set the in-game day-night length to 3 real-time hours. The Island Lights button allows you to toggle the island lights for that cool blue and red night lighting effect. Other settings. Adjust the overall view and object render distance. And check your FPS with the above settings. Now let's look at the Enemy Detection and Intel system called CARS. The CARS system is a simple radar and threat assessment system. First, select the area on the map where you wish to scan for threats. The scan radius is locked at 5 kilometers, i.e. a total area of 100 square kilometers. Once you have selected the scan origin, click Lock the origin coordinates into the system. Then click on Start Scan. The CARS system will scan the area for all threats: air, sea, armor, light vehicles, and troop positions. The scan will last for 30 seconds and will mark threats on the global map for all players. This enemy data is shared across the CATS and carrier deck systems. CATS is directly integrated into the carrier deck system. On the bottom right map window, scroll the map to the enemy position that CARS just transmitted. Armed with this intel, you can now deploy a task group to interdict these threats. But first, you need to arm the front-of-line planes with the correct ordnance. At the top of the screen, there are 4 lanes with associated planes on each station. For this plane, select either air-to-air, multi-role, or air-to-ground ordnance, then click on Load. Continue to arm all 4 planes. If you don't have at least one front-of-line plane, wait for reinforcements and/or the deck rotation. You can watch the loading process using the view and/or the buttons below the bottom left PIP window. The CATS system has multiple PIP camera views of the carrier deck, like fore, aft, and each catapult position. Having loaded all the planes with ordnance, you should now set the tasking origin or insertion position. In the bottom right window, select a suitable central position that covers all the enemy locations. Now below the map, click Confirm Position. The tasking position is now locked in. Once you are happy with the loadouts and the tasking position, click on Execute Tasking. Note, you cannot cancel this step once the Execute command is given. All front-of-line planes will still launch. The Cancel Tasking button resets the tasking position. If the launch is still in progress, the planes will do a random short patrol and then return to base. If the planes are already in the operational area, will be instructed to return to base. I'm going to fast forward 15 minutes to allow the task group to clear the primary threats at the AO. Now use the transport helicopter to add members to your team and insert your group at the AO so you can clear remaining infantry threats.
I see movement. Football miles. 200 meters. To the right of us.
Heads up, operators. We are cleared hot for departure. I'm Lieutenant Armstrong. I'll be attempting to keep this bucket of bolts in the air for the next 10 minutes or so. Keep your weapons on safe until we're clear of the boat.
Alright, so let's fast travel to one of the destroyers. So we have a menu over here. We're currently at the USS Freedom. We can either use the menu over here, or you can click on a particular vehicle. I'm going to go to the USS Liberty 1. Okay, so we're on the USS Liberty 1's deck. There are a lot of sound effects that are built into each of the destroyers. There's like ambient background noises like the sound of seagulls, the flag, the cable that holds the flag up hitting against the pole. On the back of the ship we have a couple of guys that stand here. They help helicopters come in. This guy here marshals the helicopter in. He walks over here, marshals the chopper to land, then walks back and stands around looking helpless. Then in here you have different types of helicopter. You'll have UAVs, you'll have Little Bird, and sometimes you'll have, you know, various other choppers. And if a player's not around, they don't do anything. And periodically they'll take a break and sit down on the floor and so on. Over here we have a work and management console. So we got the fast travel over here, and we got the management systems here. So if you look at the management systems on USS Liberty 1, you can see that this particular, the Phalanx CWS, needs to be rearmed. The destroyers all have the same weapon systems, like the Mark 45 hammer gun, which is on the front, Mark 41 VLS, Phalanx close weapon support on the back, and the Spartan as well. Alright, so we're going to jump to, we're going to Liberty 2. They sometimes change, like kneel and stand and so on. Check the weapon systems, needs rearming. Other than that, everything's fine. We'll jump to Liberty 3.
The officer of the deck is shifting his watch from the bridge to the quarterdeck.
Okay, same thing. So here we can see the Phalanx and the Spartan have both been destroyed. So we'll replace them. In some instances you'll find that all of the weapon systems have been destroyed, in which case you can use repair all, rearm all, or whatever, just to simplify and speed things up.
Now set material condition yoke throughout the ship. All hands check your watertight integrity.
Weapon systems are back up and running. So now let's go have a look at the bridge. Before we get to the bridge, we'll have a look at the attack boat and the SDV that you can launch. Here we have, sorry, let me just bring up my night vision. So here you have an attack boat. You jump in, you launch it, then you can add crew to the ship or to the boat, and then you can go out and hunt suicide boats and do insertions and various things.
General quarters, all hands man your battle stations.
Battle stations is across the carrier group, so it doesn't matter what ship you're on, you'll hear the battle stations. They're being attacked by some suicide boats at the moment. Same thing with the SDV, you can launch it and then recover it. When you want to recover, you bring the ship, or the boat I should say, just underneath this window, and then you select recover and it will bring it back on deck. Sorry, wrong way. It's quite busy and noisy.
211 coming to you for tanking. Vector 520 right at the ship.
Take up a...
How far away is the tanker?
Let's see if we can get you out of it.
Which direction?
All clear.
20,000 feet.
Here's your management consoles.
211, take him to 20.
Roger that.
Run a good vector on him.
What about 14?
Yeah, 211's coming 14.
Now we can fast travel.
USS Freedom ATC. Weather partly cloudy, visibility 10 miles. Traffic 3 o'clock. Radar contact 5 miles. Contact control on frequency 260. You're cleared to land.
So first we need a mission to copy it into. So we're going to make a mission on Tanoa. Tanoa is a great map. Only drawback is that the sea is extremely shallow. It's like I think about 8 to 10 meters max depth. In any event, we don't have to worry about the depth any longer because the carrier group works on all maps. What it does is it lowers or raises the base sea floor to 30 meters below the carrier deck. So in that way, it improves the floating point accuracy and resolves all the problems with trying to find a flat area on the map. Okay, so we have a mission. We're going to probably put the carrier down somewhere over here. And now we have to give it a name, so we'll save it. The enemy is revolting. So now we're going to go, so we've saved it. So now we need to go get the carrier. So we open up the carrier group. And there are two files on the Steam Workshop. There will be the carrier group demo, which you can subscribe to and play. And then I've got a stripped down version, which is essentially just the carrier group. The carrier group is spawned in based on where you place your markers for the 3 destroyers. And then it populates the destroyers and does all of that stuff. So let's open the carrier group only. You don't need to have these two planes. This plane is an F-35 that comes in and lands on the carrier. And this is an F-18 from Firewall that also comes in and lands on the carrier. These 3 markers are the markers for the destroyers. Don't delete any of this stuff because you can remove it later on once you're happy where everything is. But the markers and all these comments are there for your benefit. So select the whole area and just Control C. Now we go into the enemy is revolting. Good. It's important that you decide where you want to put the carrier before you place it down, because, or roughly, because it's not a good idea to drag it all around the map, because the carrier is made up of 20 different pieces. In the editor, the blocks of the carrier sometimes become misaligned. So in this particular case, I'm going to drop it down and I'm going to leave it exactly in the orientation that it originally was from the demo. Alright, so we've decided where we're going to put the carrier. The carrier is going to be sort of in this area. And the important bit that you must do is you must set toggle vertical mode. Okay. And you must snap to surface. Control V. Let's check that the carrier is in fact on the water. It is. So what we need to do is we need to move this whole thing down so that it's touching the water. So keeping everything selected, just press the space bar and you'll see a little blue arrow that allows you to move everything down a bit. So we'll drag it down just a little bit low. Should have the black line just slightly above the water line. That should do it. So if we just check now, it's about right. Everything here looks like it's aligned. Everything is fine. All of the objects are still touching the floor, and we now have the carrier placed. Now we need to just say where do we want to have the destroyers. We can move the destroyers. Maybe this destroyer over a bit. You can remove all the comments later on, these little turquoise marker things, well, text. Alright, so we have the carrier, we've got our 3 destroyers down, and we have a player over here which we're now going to delete, because I actually want the player to spawn on the deck. So we'll go to the deck, I'll choose this guy as my player, and now we can test it. Okay. Planes all look like they are correct. Perfect. Okay, so the carrier is in place. Now we need to just make sure that the other files are placed into the folder so that the actual carrier deck will work. The enemy is revolting. There it is. So if you go to the carrier group file, which is in your downloads, wherever it will be, unpack it or just open it, and we need to copy. Important that if you've already got a description.ext and an init.sqf that you don't copy these files over your existing files. So I'm just going to copy everything across except for the mission.sqm because we don't want to overwrite our mission.sqm. So we're just going to go copy and paste. Okay. And now that it's pasted in, we can go into the init.sqf and just make sure that we've okay, we copied the carrier, so it's already named carrier 1, so we don't have to worry about that. And if you've got an init.sqf already, then you just simply copy this line and put it into your own init.sqf. Let's check the description.ext. All you need in the description.ext is this CFG sounds section. If you already got a description.ext and you've got a CFG sounds, then all you do is you add this line into your CFG sound section. That helps define all of the sounds, like 100 and whatever it is, 140 sound files that are in the carrier deck system. All custom voices and all that stuff, sound effects and things. These scripts are used for the slideshows in the main area on the island. It's up to you if you want to use them. They're basically like little scripts that run various images and scroll through images that you've stored on your in your mission, so it looks like the screens are alive without taking up too much processing and running videos on each of the screens. Every few minutes it'll change the background of the TV screen. So there's 3 slideshows, you can adjust them and put in different images. Unit sit and AI sit
These are useful, and the play video one is also useful for playing videos on the briefing room screen. You can decide if you want to keep them or not. Alright, so now we should be ready to go, and I think that should be it.